welcome you to episode 44 of Sports Shack. We're almost close to 50, Dennis. I think that's pretty good. That's a good achievement. So, when we reach that achievement, that's going to be a really good milestone for us.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, 50 on Sports Shack. But right now, this is episode 44. Obviously, as we always say, my name is Brandon Gerard Natali, along with Dennis Tui, and we are Sports Shack. And I got to silence my phone. A lot of notifications. I don't know if anybody could hear that. So obviously, we're from Long Island, New York. We currently still live in New York. So obviously, we did get caught in that nor'easter, snowstorm, blizzard, cyclone, or whatever you want to call it. It shocked me the amount of, what shocked me is that I didn't think we were ever going to get, I never was going to think I was going to ever hear of thunder snow. For all my life, we've been in blizzards and all that, but I would never think thunder snow was ever possible. So when I was texting people, I'm like thunder snow. I never heard of that. I didn't think that was going to be possible. Not that I didn't know what it was, but I'm like, it really could happen during a snowstorm. I didn't think that, So, I'm just glad that hopefully, I was able to shovel. I was able to help my dad shovel, so he didn't have to do it alone. And obviously, my sister was able to get to work. She had to get to work tonight, working in Bayshore. She's a nurse practitioner in the ICU, one of the ICUs in Bayshore. Shout out to her, and obviously all the essential workers out today. And so yeah, it's just been a really intense snowstorm. So obviously, I actually got to go into the middle school tomorrow. We got to clear the sidewalks and make sure those are not a hazard, safety hazard for anybody that's walking on the property. So that's gonna be fun tomorrow. And but yeah, I don't mind it. Hey, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting time and a half, so that's a plus. And So you gotta do what you gotta do to survive in this weather.
Is the school closed tomorrow?
Yes, it's closed tomorrow.
That makes sense.
So that's why they were supposed to go in today, and I wasn't gonna go in. They didn't need me to go in. Which that's a whole nother topic I don't want to get into, but they didn't need me to come in, I guess, because this way, since Monday's my off day, they figured, hey, you know what? You would think in storms, hey, all hands on deck, especially with state of emergencies. But they didn't need me to come in since they wanted to save a quick buck. And they say, hey, since Brandon's off, he doesn't need to come in. So, okay, sure. But since tomorrow it's technically a regular day for me, I have to come in. So I'm pretty sure I'm getting time and a half for that. So that's good. So I have to come in no matter what. I think I'm working 10 to 6. So, but that's good. I'm excited. No matter, I was saying to people, I was bummed at first when I wasn't told not to come in. Because, I tell people, hey, whether it's a sandstorm, hurricane, tsunami, I work, I'll be at work, I'm saying but they need me to come in. So I was like, all right, sure. So I was a little bummed about that. But also at the same time, hey, they need me to come in. So, hey, good to take advantage of obviously helping my dad shovel, the property or house. So he didn't have to do it alone. Obviously, if they needed me, I'll obviously do it beforehand, before I'm going into work. And then I could just take advantage of relaxing. But now, since there's no school today and tomorrow, I have to go in. It's technically a regular work day for me. I have to go in. So now they get me. And I'm pretty sure I get time and a half for that. So it's a win either way. So, it's kudos to that. I'm excited. So yeah, hopefully maybe go to Quick Check or the diner, get some food,
That might be the move, buddy. Pick up some pancakes on the way to work. Or, I don't know, would you get food on your lunch break? I don't know.
Maybe a burger deluxe.
Okay.
Or maybe I just stop at Quick Check and get a sub. One or the other.
You and I work at the same school. I'm a sub teacher. I know. Those of you may not believe it because my hair is a wreck right now. I haven't haven't showered or really gotten dressed since I finished shoveling. So cut me a break. But I'm terrified. One thing I'm terrified of is leaving for lunch as a teacher and getting back late and being late to my class. Because I don't know if I could get a note from another class, when you're a kid, Sorry,
Right.
so and so. I had to talk to them after class about their behavior or whatever.
Right. Yeah, you were telling me.
Do that as an adult. That would be funny though. Ask one of your boys that work in this school, hey, can you write me a note? Can you write me a hall pass?
So, sorry, the girl. Actually, no, I shouldn't be saying this. No, I'm not gonna say it.
Funny.
Not that anybody would ever see it.
But
But
yeah.
you know what? I just keep my mouth shut.
Okay. Wow.
Maybe I'll,
So while Team USA was scoring goals, it seems like our buddy here may have been taking some shots on net. Good for you.
I'm
Trying to
trying
score. Yeah.
trying to score like David Beckham.
Yeah.
One
Or
of the
Jack Hughes.
persons said to me because I said my text, David Beckham text. They said, I said they compare me to David Beckham. I don't know if it maybe the way I phrased it. They're like, "Who's they?" So I was like, "My friends."
I don't know. I don't know if I can help you out of this one, buddy. Anyways, sports.
Sports, but either way. So no, it's snowstorm. No, we still crazy. I'm trying to find my way to get out of that one, but you know what? But yeah, also, I'm not gonna overthink it. So obviously, yeah, sports. Obviously, nothing new Easter. We're not I feel like the meteorologists were just going nuts on News 12. They were like, just this was like their.
It's their Super Bowl.
This is the Super Bowl. Yeah, this is the Super Bowl. I was trying to think of I was trying to think of what to say. This was like the Super Bowl. They were going nuts. This is like Long Island's biggest storm ever, which it kind of was.
Yeah, I texted my buddy to give me some information on the weather because Dr. Tony, he studies climate and stuff like that and weather patterns. And I texted him. I was like, "Is this really going to be that bad? And what is thunder snow?" Never responded to me. So clearly, the abominable snowman got him. That's a shame. But yeah, man. Listen, I feel like when we were in high school, I feel like we got a few of these. Not to this degree. This is the worst snow we've ever gotten. I sent you the picture of my car. The Elantra is buried. Buried. The Elantra is a little black igloo right now. But I feel like I said, like in high school, I feel like we got a few of these.
High school, I feel
like 2015 in particular, I remember getting slammed. And I remember the reason why we got slammed. Like the reason I remember it so vividly is that it was a Monday and the day after the Royal Rumble. Stay with me now. And they canceled Monday Night Raw. It was like one of the only times they've ever canceled Monday Night Raw. And they re-aired the Royal Rumble instead. So I got to watch it for free. And I remember thinking, because I kind of wanted to ask my parents to buy it for me and my brother, but they, and I kind of like remember thinking to myself, like, bro, yes, this is so nice. I don't think it was the full Royal Rumble. It might have just been the Royal Rumble match that they showed in its place. But anyway, with commercials, I think that might have been it. But I remember thinking, like, dude, this snow sucks while shoveling, but I was like, at least me and my brother could watch the Royal Rumble. And of course, Bubba Ray Dudley, that's the one Bubba Ray Dudley came back to WWE. And I was like, nice. Booyah.
Booyah.
Get the tables. Welcome to Dudleyville. So that's how I remember it. These are the little things that you remember about blizzards and whatnot. Like years from now, when I'm thinking back to like when we first got Callie, that's my puppy. She's a mini golden doodle. She's so cute. I'm gonna think back to that wild blizzard, and when I think back to bad snows, I'm gonna think back the bad blizzard in which we got Callie. So I was happy my snowblower was working because the last few bad snowstorms, my snowblower wasn't working. And some guy who lives a few streets over from me fixes snowblowers. So last snowstorm we got a couple weeks ago, my dad dropped it off. So now we got this absolute beast of a snowblower. This thing's been running for us, buddy, for 25 years, 26 years now.
Really?
Yeah. And now it's completely redone, re-energized, rejuvenated. It is now snowblower beyond. It's no longer just snowblower. It's snowblower beyond. And yeah, me and my dad, we made like very good headway today. We did it in shifts. We did our property, then we went out a few hours later and did our cars because plow. They don't plow well by us at all. So there was a bit of a debate in my house as to how to handle the cars. And I think that it doesn't matter ultimately. I think that I was right. I said to my dad, he said we should put our cars on the other side of the street. People are like, put it in your driveway. We actually don't have the room in our driveway for all our cars. And I said to my dad, we should keep them where they are on our side because it's not going to matter because other cars are going to be on the street, up the street from us.
Mm.
So the plow is not going to weave in and out. They're going to go in a straight line. And those cars are taking up space. That way it stops us from shoveling it out twice. We're guaranteed to shovel it out once. And I would rather that. And ultimately he agreed. Was it the right decision? I don't know. But I have a very strategic mind. I think it paid off well enough.
Mm.
So yeah, I think that's it. Should shoveling be a Winter Olympic sport? I don't know.
Honestly, that's a good question. I like that. That's I mean, there's curling,
Seriously.
and there's I mean, what's that when they shuffle like, right? Curling, right? I got that.
You got it.
Yeah, curling. Obviously, there's hockey. There's figure skating. Definitely don't. After going on the cruise and I was skating. Don't ever get me on ice skates ever again because that's not a good idea. That's why kids and anybody else that's listening, that's why it's key to wear a helmet in anything, whether you're motorcycling, you're bicycling, or you're skating, or you're playing hockey. Helmet is key because if you hit your head, there's a lot of damage. I mean, it's you hurt your head pretty bad. Don't want to sound too paranoid or too, but you could die. It's crack your head. And get a concussion, So, but like I said, I guess ice shoveling. Let's add that to the Olympics.
I was kidding, but
I know. Well,
so
no, I'm not. I was trying to go along with the joke.
Yeah. So I guess Brandon, not a regular Johnny Weir or Tanya Harding when it comes to ice skating. Okay, good to know. Good to know. You're not a regular figure skater.
No, I'm not. No. I was gonna say, but anyways, yes, but we're not the meteorologists. This is not News 12. This is Sports Shack, and we're gonna try to deliver you the best sports content we can. So obviously, we're just talking about the Olympics. Great game yesterday. Obviously, the USA takes home the gold medal for the first time since a miracle on ice back in 1980. And funny enough, yesterday was 46 years ago today. Well, 46 years ago yesterday that the 1980 team actually took gold. Or actually, no, it was the Miracle on Ice, if I'm correct. 46 years ago yesterday was when was the Miracle on Ice game, the USA versus the Soviets at the time. Soviets, USSR, powerhouse of dominance in hockey, where you got the USA, they were just amateur hockey players, and they upsetted them on American soil in Lake Placid. Obviously, Al Michaels with his famous "Do you believe in miracles?" line, which is one of my favorite sports moments, honestly. And people say it's arguably the best upset ever. And so obviously yesterday, yesterday's game against Canada, Sidney Crosby didn't play, so that was a key moment. I think that definitely had a big factor. The USA just did a good job of just containing the game and just controlling. Like obviously they had the lead 1-0 for a long time, but obviously there was a 5-on-3 power play that Canada had, and they did a good job of containing the ice, controlling the puck. Where that power play, they were able to survive that power play. The goalie Connor Hellebuyck, if I can pronounce his name correctly, had 41 saves, made some crucial saves throughout the game. And obviously, Jack Hughes with his game winning goal with a minute and 41 seconds into overtime. So I believe he lost some teeth. And also, I love the post game tribute, them celebrating Johnny Gaudreau's, shouting him out because if had he been around today, he would have been on the team right now with his family in attendance. So that was pretty cool to watch. So, Dennis, any thoughts on the game?
Great game by Connor Hellebuck. I mean, he's regarded as being the best goalie in the NHL, and he showed it off. 41 saves. That's not nothing. That's he clocked in and he worked his day at the office. Canada had 2 or 3 point blank wide open opportunities that they could not capitalize on. And this is why, just because you think that you can't achieve something doesn't mean you can't try, right? Canada were favored in this matchup, but very slightly favored in this matchup. And Team USA, they still went after it. They did not, fold. Jack Hughes had a very costly penalty, or what could have been a costly penalty. And then when he came back from his time in the penalty box and was able to get back in the game, came out like he was shot out of a cannon, like a bat out of hell, buddy. And of course, he gets the game-winning goal. And which team does he play for? My beloved New Jersey Devils. So I'm excited about that, obviously, to see him healthy, 1, to see him playing at a high level, 2, and to see him happy, 3. So just a fun game all around. Excited. I actually thought Finland was going to upset Canada. They were up 2-0 on their game a couple nights ago.
That was a good game, right? I do remember watching that.
And Canada came back and scored 3 straight. So tough teams going on. This is what you like from the Olympics. I like to see teams be teams. I like to see teams be the top level that they can be at. And this game delivered. Great game all around. Sadly, I cannot watch it as critically as normally I would have liked to have because I work every Sunday morning. But, yeah, fun.
Yeah, just, watching the game, I didn't realize, I guess, how big it was kind of until, I guess, the morning. I guess because the Olympics today, but I guess the Miracle on Ice, and then obviously what's been going on now, it kind of made me realize how big this was, obviously, playing for your country, the pride, and, showing the dominance that we're the best, and that we are a dominant team, especially Canada. They beat us in 4 Nations last year. That was upsetting. And obviously, the 4 Nations hockey tournament, that was last year. Then obviously, coming to the Olympics this year, it was the same thing, and there's a lot of good teams. There was Sweden, there was Finland, there was Canada. So it was big. And so obviously going into this matchup, like so many people watching it, like so many people were at the bars in Farmingdale Main Street, and obviously just around Long Island, I saw there was a lot of people watching the game like at like 8 a.m. Like I never saw that before. I thought that was pretty cool. And just seeing everybody's reactions of the goal, it was just great. It felt like especially, obviously what goes on around the country. It was great to obviously see everybody come together, celebrate the moment that, we finally got gold. Obviously, Jack Hughes saying he's proud to be an American. It's just great, honorable and humble guy. Great hockey player too. One of the best players in the league. I do remember watching him. I did see him score a game-winning goal against the Islanders. He made it look so easy. So obviously, I'm not shocked he did that, against Canada yesterday. And so no, it was just pretty cool seeing everybody come together and just celebrating the win, and especially seeing America take home gold. And my dad said it best. I'm watching history, especially the first time in 46 years. That's insane to me. And it just felt great. My sports teams haven't won, but it was cool to see that, at least my country can do something, like, hey, what about your teams? Oh, I'm a Jets, Mets, Islanders Knicks fan, but at least my country won for me,
That's what I was about to say. It just dawned on me. You have never seen a team win. And I'm not saying it's to kick you while you're down.
Oh, thank you.
But what I mean by that is
appreciate
like
that,
this
Dennis.
literally is like, yeah, take this in, buddy. Like you don't know when this is going to happen again.
No,
This
hey, you know what?
feeling of triumph.
You know,
It's one thing like we're basketball fans, and Team USA is expected to get gold. Team USA has gotten gold every year since 1992, except once when
2008,
Argentina got it in
right?
'04.
That was 04. Okay, my
Yeah,
bad.
but like so like there's not that same feeling. Like maybe baseball, but even baseball, they don't send the MLB players to the Olympics. So St. Patty's Day this year is the World Baseball Classic gold medal game, which I almost went to. Maybe I might consider not having my radio show that night, going out for it.
That
I'm going out, one, because I'm Irish and it's Patty's Day, and two, World Baseball Classic. And if I get a hard time from it, I might push back a little more than I usually do.
honestly, you know what? If you're not, well, that's St. Patty's. That's something we should talk about after the show. Because I'm kind
I
of
got my Guinness hockey jersey ready to go.
so I'm kind of interested. So I kind of want to see what you're doing for that. But anyways, so we're at baseball classic. But no, you know, I have seen a butt fumble. I've seen, the Mets losing in 15.
You've seen ghosts.
I've seen ghosts. I've seen a 15-year playoff drought. The Islanders were close. The Knicks, obviously, were the Knicks. So, it hasn't been easy, but one day it'll pay off. So to see USA kind of, take home gold, it was a cool moment, It felt like, it felt like one of my teams won a championship, but obviously it's my country. So it's a whole different level. So it was cool, But yeah, just a great moment. I like when they brought out, they paid tribute to Johnny Gaudreau, who
That was nice.
if would have happened, not happened, he would have been on the team. So that was nice that they were able to do that. It was really cool seeing them. Had the American flag as they're skating around and obviously watching them get the gold medal. Singing the national anthem, just a really cool moment, man. And like I said, I just love how this kind of brought the country together for a little bit. Like, the fact that we took home gold and, beat Canada, especially Canada, I feel like mocks us for hockey, but not today.
Yeah.
Not yesterday, and certainly not today. Sorry, Canada.
Another thing that you could appreciate as an Islander fan, Brock Nelson,
Yes,
won a gold medal. His dad won a gold medal, and his grandfather won a gold medal, or his great grandfather, one of them. Yeah, all three of the Team USA Olympic gold medals have had Brock Nelson, his lineage, on it. So his son, brother, you start skating, Because if that kid's in the Olympics and they lose, hey, it's completely on him. He failed an entire bloodline. No, I'm kidding. That's not nice.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he was a long-time Islander. Hey, good for him. But no, I didn't know that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty gnarly.
It's obviously, like we said, just to wrap up the USA hockey, obviously, yesterday was 46. Yeah, I just want to make sure of that.
And yesterday was George Washington's birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was that was yesterday was yesterday was the Miracle on Ice game, so that was pretty ironic and that was cool. So like I said, yesterday was 46 years ago. The Miracle on Ice game happened in Lake Placid.
Is that right?
That is right. What are you looking up?
I'll look up something else. I've actually been to the Lake Placid Olympics too. We've been talking about the Olympics before this. Yeah, yesterday was George Washington's birthday.
Oh wow! So as Dennis alluded to, on George Washington's birthday, and on the 46th year anniversary of the Miracle on Ice game in Lake Placid, the USA American hockey team, took home the gold medal against Canada. First times in 46 years. Great moment. I know you said, obviously great moment for Jack Hughes getting the game-winning goal. Just great all-around control on the puck. And obviously, like I said, on the 5-1-3 power play. The goaltender's name, Connor Hellebuck. Yep, I got it. 41 saves, dominance, made very, very huge key saves for them. And just all-around team effort. Obviously great coaching, Mike Sullivan. and it was just a great showing for American hockey. And especially as Canada beat us in the Four Nations last year. This was big, obviously. I guess payback in a way, in a sense. So, like I said, Canada can't mock us in hockey for at least the next 4 years, or until the Four Nations comes up. But just obviously, it was just cool to see obviously everyone come together for this moment as we have taken home gold in the Olympics for hockey. Any other thoughts on the Olympics, Dennis?
Nah, I have not. I'm not really big into the Winter Olympics specifically because of the timing. First of all the events are early in the morning here in the U.S. Second of all, I'm always busy. I'm always busy, right? Like I'm in grad school now. I have a day job. Like I'm too busy for it. One thing I will say, I don't know if she'll ever play again. So I want to take this time. Lindsey Vonn, injured, potential career-ending injury, but if we don't get the opportunity again, excellent career. I mean, really, when you think of Winter Olympics in the U.S., the first name I always think of is Lindsey Vonn.
Yeah.
Because she's just been around basically our entire lives. And, she's the skier in in the U.S. She almost had to have her leg amputated. Oh, my God.
Really?
But apparently she's recovering, yeah. So I don't know if she'll ever ski again, at least at the Olympic level, but still, heck of a career. Good for her. And the other name, he's been retired for a few years now, but the other name I just think of with the Winter Olympics is Shaun White. Dude, Shaun White when we were kids was the man.
Yes.
It was Shaun White and Tony Hawk. Like let's be honest here, man. We were all Shaun White and Tony Hawk fans as kids, even if we knew nothing about skateboarding or snowboarding. So yeah, again, Winter Olympics is not my strong suit. I want to get into it, but another thing is, like, I am impressed with figure skating. I know a little bit about figure skating, mostly because 2 Olympic figure skaters are on one of the reality shows I watched, The Traders. So I kind of like watched it a little bit, just to at least find out like their background. They're 2 commentators now, but
Right.
Tyler Pinsky and Johnny Weir. Anyway, the problem I have with figure skating is it's too subjective.
Okay.
There's not a winner and a loser. So and so had the fastest time. It's grading like the difficulty. Everybody has like a subjective grading method, and it's like, to me, it's like I don't know. Like I can't. That part of it, to me, I can't get it. I physically cannot force myself to get into them.
Yeah.
That
Hey.
being said, like I've seen some routines and whatnot that are like mind blowing. Flips that like they unbanned backflips in front flips in figure skating now. That was banned since I think the 80s or 70s. But
Yeah.
and it's famous. A few times people knew they were going to lose for whatever reason, so to disqualify themselves, they would just flip, which is so cool to see somebody like do a backflip and land on one leg on an ice skate. That's insane. Going full speed.
Okay.
Wow. Like that's crazy stuff.
It is crazy. Hey, but
So I'm impressed. But again, the big stuff in curling is cool too. And the Canada curling controversy, you sneaky Pete's, you cheater pumpkin eaters. That guy did that. That guy intentionally cheated. I bet my bottom dollar on it. So in curling, you're not allowed to. You take the stone. I forget what they call it, and you slide it across, and then
Okay.
They broom. They use the friction that moves. I think they call it the slab. I forget the specific name for it, but they slide the center block, right? Anyways, this guy, as he spun it, he gave it a little push. Can't do it.
Really? And did he get caught?
He did not get caught by the referees. The competitor from the other team said something, and you hear it clear as day. They have words about it. They start cursing at each other. They have words but I guess they don't have reviews and such. I don't know.
Curling actually it did look interesting.
My sister's friend is curling.
I have done like shuffleboard or like
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the what so like it was
Bocce
interesting.
ball.
But yeah, bocce ball, so it's like you want to see like obviously if it's gonna land in the middle, like if it's it's like kind of like I don't want to say it's like darts in a way, but it's like you kind of got like the
Yeah.
circle and you want to like it feels like that.
Yeah,
So
it's I right. Darts or shuffleboard or
right,
bocce ball. Like I
it's
feel like it's like
sort of
similar to that like ilk of sports.
right. So it was
Croquet, right? Is croquet the other one? I don't really
I
get
think
that
so.
one. It's the one with the mallet.
But no, the winter it was fun. Like I said, I enjoyed watching the Olympics this year, and I guess it's still going on. Did it end yet? Or not yet.
I haven't seen anything about closing ceremonies. I don't know. Again, the Olympics is something that like when it's time, when it's summer Olympics, I am all locked in on volleyball. And no, not because I'm a dog, but because I genuinely, I used to
You're a
play volleyball
volleyball
in
alum.
high
You're
school.
you're a former volleyball
Yeah.
player.
That is a 2017 Unsung Hero Award for Nassau County Boys Volleyball Award recipient.
Damn
Thank
straight.
you. Yes. So, when do the 2026 Winter Olympic? By the way, 2026 sounds crazy. When do the 2026 Winter Olympics
And
end? They took place already, Brandon.
the closing ceremony.
Yeah, 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. in their time, 2:30 Eastern time. Oh, so we missed it. I was out shoveling snow when it ended.
I was shoveling snow too. So the winter kind of came here in a way.
Darn it!
But either way, hey,
How could I have done this?
I enjoyed watching the Winter Olympics, and I guess we'll see the Winter Olympics in 2030. And yeah, so Summer Olympics I know comes to America, to Los Angeles, and I think it's all around the country.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, to be honest. Like where it's gonna be. It's gonna be in France in 2030. Cool, but sure.
Mm. Ever
But
since
yeah,
going away, when I went on vacation, I want to travel more. So you should. I mean, I know you said you want to go to Europe, but you should definitely consider coming to Japan with us, maybe if we go.
I don't think that's gonna line up for what I needed to because I'm gonna be student teaching in the fall. There's zero way I could take off.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
So if you guys waited for the winter, yes.
Okay. Well, hey, see more discussions, but I mean, in terms of going to Florida, that's another conversation. But I would love for you to come with us. It'd be a fun time.
Yeah. We have friends that live down there.
Yeah, you can meet up with us in Delray or Fort Lauderdale, wherever we're going to be. But anyways, so obviously Olympics, great talk on that. Um, spring training has finally come, and obviously, um, the Mets and Yankees. I know they played each other the other day, and so obviously teams are starting to get warmed up for the season. I know right now there's snow in Queens and there's snow in Yankee Stadium right now in the Bronx, but baseball teams right now are getting a good feel in the warm weather down in spring training. They're trying to warm up for the season. So yeah, Dennis has. So I know you have watched. I feel like you've been up to date with spring training more than I have. Uh, has there been anything you have noticed so far in the spring training with any of the teams so far that have played?
It's so early into spring training that like I can't really like I don't really have an opinion. One thing I will say, I am stoked at some of the Yankees pitchers have looked very good so far. And oh geez, what's his name? Cam Schlittler has looked very good. How come I can't find this guy's name?
Um,
Yankees pitching prospect. Trying to find this kid on the Yankees who's just pumping heat. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on his name. Coming soon. Thanks, MLB.com. You're a real mensch. Uh, Carlos Lagrange. Carlos Lagrange. This kid could throw. This boy, I am watching him play. Brandon, I'm not kidding. This kid can pump heat. He
Really?
threw 103 miles an hour at Aaron Judge. 22 years old. This is a name to keep an eye out for, especially for a team that desperately needs some bullpen depth. 22-year-old right-handed pitcher at a Double-A, Carlos Lagrange, has been absolutely incredible so
Okay.
far. So I'm excited.
Okay.
I'm excited. Hopefully, it doesn't blow his arm out, though. Be a little. I don't got to be throwing 103 miles an hour on every pitch.
Do you think he has the opportunity to make the roster?
Again, it's a bull. For a team that has no bullpen, I'll take anybody at this. Brandon, how fast can you throw? Like, I'll take anybody at this point.
That's tough. It would take a lot for me to get in pinstripes, but I mean, hey,
Stop it! If that check's not bouncing, you'll be there.
I plead the fifth.
Really? Oh, stop!
Oh, come on. No, I don't know. Hey.
If the Red Sox offered me $300,000 to be a glove first outfielder, if you don't think I am saying yes to that, and then I'll happily make an ass out of myself at the plate 3 or 4 times a game, happily do it. I'll do the job, brother. I'll put you over. Don't worry.
All right. Hey, you know what? All right.
Making contact for me would be an achievement, and I would take it.
Just be ready. I'll make sure when we're in Aruba together, I'll make sure to have your margarita waiting for you.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
So,
again, as long as the check's not bouncing.
But no, hey, so, good for the Yankees. In terms of the Mets,
look great too.
I want to see Freddie Peralta pitch. Like I'm waiting to see if he's going to make a start for them or if they're just keeping him back. I know they said I think it was Marcus Semien, Freddie Peralta, and there was another player or two that they wanted to keep an eye on. Just like slow progression into the season. So, and I understand that. It's definitely going to be interesting to see, obviously, how spring training goes. Obviously, Juan Soto's up to date. I feel like he hasn't gotten enough talked because obviously the Mets' issues are like how this team going to fare without, Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil. A lot of the focus is on Bo Bichette, the fact he's played another position, at third base. And, I think I saw a play where it hit off the first baseman, but it looked like
I didn't see that. It was a really bad throw.
It was a bad throw on him, right?
It was horrible. But it was his first throw at third base.
Yeah, like it's a first throw. I feel like I remember Sean, our Yankee friend, was going, going nuts, and he sent the tweet right away of like him taking throws, taking balls at third base, ground balls, and obviously he didn't look good. But I said to Sean right away, I'm like, hey, he's learning a new position. It just spring training just started. What's the overreaction here? Come on. I am definitely nervous because switching a position is not easy. But, the Mets are taking a gamble that, because obviously Bo Bichette's upside is his offensive play, especially with runners in scoring position, and especially what he did in the World Series and just in the playoffs for the Blue Jays last year. So hopefully this gamble could pay off and it could work out, and hopefully he can adjust, while playing in spring training. So, we'll only time will tell.
Yeah, like I know this is going to blow some people's minds because you know how big a baseball fan I am. I actually don't really watch a lot of spring training. The reason why I don't watch a lot of spring training is I feel like all it's so reactionary. Like if this guy,
Right.
like I just was with Carlos Lagrange, like if this guy looks good, all of a sudden you're completely glazing. And if some player is mediocre or has like a slow start or something like that, or you don't know if a guy's coming off an injury or like some surgery that didn't make the news or something, like it's honestly not a big deal. I still don't even count like the first 10 weeks of the regular season. I watch all the games, don't get me wrong, all the ones I can. But like in my mind, I'm like, it's not the same. Like I don't really care, Do you get what I'm saying? Am I explaining this right?
No. I don't think that's a bad take. Especially spring training. There's only so many games. And now obviously, so much you could watch. Like, But like I said, that's why I want to see like Freddie Peralta pitch. Like I want to see him in a Met uniform. I want to see what stuff he has, and I just want to see just a glimpse of like because obviously we got to wait till the regular season for that to come. Um, I'm curious to see how much snow there's going to be at around City Field when the games start. Because obviously they're starting up that casino, that project.
I was talking about that. Yeah,
So
last week
they're
with my
starting up
friends.
that project. So I wonder how the parking situation is going to be. That's why transportation is going to be different. That's a whole nother topic. But either way, I just so right now we're worried about snow, but also we're ready for Mets. We're ready for baseball. We're ready for the spring to come.
I really hope. Apparently, it's going to be multiple parking garages, but I really hope it's just easy to get in and out. That's one thing I
I
kind of
agree.
liked about City Field.
I agree.
Like it was kind of
I agree. The
very driver
project
friendly.
is, I don't think they needed to really do anything with it. I get it. They want to, it's money, business. Sure.
Does it have to be an effing
But-
casino?
Yeah, it like didn't need to be a casino. Come on, and also I just didn't think anything like that's for the Mets. If anything, they probably could have put a football stadium there where the Jets should be.
That's actually not a bad idea.
That's probably what they could have done, and they probably could expand it around that area. I mean, the soccer stadium they're putting there, it does look really nice. And I think they're actually going to have some Olympic games there actually, for 2 years from now. But I feel like New York and Queens and Jets, they had every opportunity to build a stadium there. That's what it probably should have been like for a long time. The Mets and the Jets playing around the same area. Like you had Kansas City, the Royals, and the Chiefs. Their stadiums are right next to each other. Detroit, Ford Field, and Comerica Park. They're right next to each other. It would have been cool to have that for the Jets and the Mets. I feel like I don't know what's the issue, but if it can work out, it can. Absolutely. In the future, if the opportunity comes and they can do it, sure. But absolutely, there's businesses, there's homes. So obviously, you got to think for that aspect. You can't just think for the business aspect. You got to think for the people aspect. So if it doesn't work out on that aspect, then yeah, that's not a problem. Because obviously, homes and people, that's more important than obviously stadiums in that aspect. But all I'm saying is if there's space where there's not homes, there's not businesses that they can't force to move out, like in this open land, they got to take advantage. Like they got to take advantage of it for a Jets and Mets stadium. But anyways, back to spring training because I feel like we kind of derailed. But no, as I'm saying, while we're freezing up here, they're warming up down there in spring training, trying to get ready for for the regular season. But like I said, I just feel like, when it's going to come to, like baseball coming back, like I feel like, oh my God, my Alexa just scared the crap out of me. That actually just scared me. When it's going to come to, spring training, like the regular season, we're going to still see snow.
Yeah, no, I'm like not. Snow, go away. Come again some other day. Like I just.
That's what I've been saying. I've been like, I've been saying that snow, go away. I'm like, rain, come, please.
Yeah.
Come melt the snow away. Like for real.
We're supposed to be getting more snow later in the week, buddy.
Yeah, but not as bad though.
Not as bad, but
not as bad. But no, I agree. It's just not necessary. Like this is insane. This is absurd. This is the most amount of snow I think I've ever seen in my entire life so far. Knock on this. Like my dad was telling me today about the blizzard in '78. How I don't think they went to school for the week. Not saying that's going to happen here, but they had a lot of snow. And then my dad was telling me about the blizzard of '96, where they actually had a wedding to go to on that day. Like imagine having a wedding on that day, and supposedly the people that had the wedding, they got compensated back for the people that didn't come. But that's sad though. I'd be devastated if my wedding was on a blizzard. Like you can't make that up. That's why you gotta have it in the summer. But hopefully you gotta hope you don't get a hurricane. But anyways, like this I thought we had that one snowstorm. We thought, that was a lot, but I could not have predicted that this was going to be the biggest. We were going to get another snowstorm, let alone the biggest snowstorm ever in Long Island history. The meteorologists are going nuts that they're acting like this is their Super Bowl. Which, hey, shout out to the meteorologists. Not trying to discredit them. It's just funny. This is,
Yeah, this is definitely the worst snow we've ever gotten. But There's some other snowstorms that like I feel like have kind of gotten forgotten. The snowstorm immediately following Hurricane Sandy, brutal,
We did get a bad. I remember that. I do remember.
brutal. It was like a week or two after Hurricane Sandy, if I'm not mistaken, or around that same
I do
time.
remember that actually. Yeah,
Brutal.
I do remember that.
Nobody talks about it. It's so
Wow,
strange.
you did kind of unlock a memory.
Brutal.
You did.
And I remember me and my brother and his friends went to Taco Bell. I forget like why.
Wow.
I remember how we got there, but I don't remember.
I forgot we had a snowstorm. I forgot you unlocked the memory in my head. I love
Yeah,
when unlock memories.
and there's like a few. And it's hard for me because to me, certain snowstorms, like in my backyard or whatever, I've had more snow in my backyard than I have now. 1,000%. Especially because we've had in the past a few snowstorms within like a 10-week span that just kind of piles on itself. But my street, my street, the wind on my street can be vicious at times because we don't have a lot of trees anymore. But also, all the wind kind of pushes everything to my house. It's just the natural flow of our neighborhood. It happens. And because of that, like you get like random wind patches, like my backyard at times has been absolutely devastated with snow. That like, but now this time, our backyard was actually kind of fine. Like our backyard was completely easy to do. So it's one of those like little things stand out to me. Like there were times like growing up that like our backyard was absolutely like, yeah, we can't get out. Like just go away. Go away, snow.
Snow, go away.
I'll take a 65-degree day. Thank you. But you know what the problem is? If it gets too hot too fast, if it was like 100 degrees tomorrow and all the snow melted, flooding, mass flooding. But I don't think we'll have that problem. That's an unrealistic problem.
But I'm just ready for I don't know this weather. I could have not predicted this was going to be as bad as it was. So
while I was shoveling my snow, I had a half a mind. You know what? Maybe I should go to Miami after all.
it's not a bad idea, honestly.
It's not. It's really not.
Let's say, but I guess real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. What are your thoughts on Nick Castellanos and that situation?
I don't. There's not a lot of information that's coming out that seems reliable or consistent. That he's off the Phillies. He got into it with the manager. He made some teammates uncomfortable, and they've never said why. This is, I think, kind of one of those things that like kind of has hurt baseball's record. Unless, of course, something's come out and I didn't see it since he got thrown off the team. But this is, I feel like, kind of one of those things that hurts baseball a lot, in my opinion. They've become so buttoned up. It's like impossible for anything to come out, and then it comes out after the fact. Like back when baseball was very popular, like we would know all this by now. We would know all this. Like if this was the NBA, we would know all this. If this was the NFL, we would know all this. Baseball, for whatever reason, they're just like, oh my God. If it's bad enough to kick him off the team, I think your fans are owed an explanation. Aside from he was drinking beer in a game he took himself out of. Kind of a stupid reason to kick a guy off the team. Half the team is already liquored up, probably. Oh, what? Oh, what? A starting pitcher who's not pitching that day isn't getting drunk. Oh, stop. I'm sorry, I keep like cutting away. It's because I'm blowing my nose. I'm not saying that some of these guys are playing liquored up like they did in the friggin' 60s, 70s, 80s, and I mean, probably even still to this day, and certainly long before that. But come on, who are we kidding? Give me a break.
Yeah, no, of course, but yeah, I feel like that was coming. That was going to come down for a long time now. But obviously he signed with the Padres. I feel like that breakup was coming for a long time now, but it shocked me when it kind of did happen. and obviously signed with the Padres, and now all that's going on. So, but yeah, I'm excited for baseball, man. I'm just, especially in the weather that we're having. I'm just ready. I'm ready for it to be hot again. I know I went away, went to Florida, but I'm excited for it to be nice weather, Memorial Day weekend, nice, summer weather. I'm excited for it,
I
because,
knew.
you know,
Oh, continue.
I just feel like when Long Island has hot weather, it's one of the best places to be. When it's in this type of weather, I get it. You want a snowbird to Florida. I get it. But the summers in Long Island to me are the best.
I knew we were going to get a vicious winter when we got a vicious summer, and everybody was saying, "I don't mind the snow." You guys don't mind the snow because
We called it.
we hadn't gotten a bad snowstorm in a few years, and y'all got greedy. That's what happened. You guys forgot. You guys got arrogant.
It was ridiculously hot
Oh,
last summer. It was bad.
dude, it was so bad this summer that like I straight up said to people, like, dude, like, thank God I'm not a groundskeeper anymore. If I was still doing landscaping, oh my gosh. Good thing it was helped me lose a little more weight.
It was ridiculously bad. I do agree. So honestly, this weather should not come to a shock to anybody because we got a bad summer. So then now we had a
Careful what
bad
you wish
no.
for.
Now we yeah, and then we ended up getting a bad winter.
All right. Does that do it?
I guess so. Because I feel like we talked a lot before coming on, and I feel like we covered a lot. I feel like it's kind of been besides the Olympics and spring
Yeah.
training coming up, and the NFL. Obviously, the combine comes next week. So obviously we'll talk about that.
The
Maybe
NBA All-Star game was pretty boring.
I'm kind of confused how it was kind of set up. Can you explain it to me? Like what was
Uh,
like was veterans versus rookies,
uh,
young stars?
dude.
Okay.
Buddy, your guess is as good as mine.
Okay.
They split the USA into two different age brackets, and then
Right.
they took
That's
the
what I
All
thought.
Stars from the foreign league, from foreign countries, and put them together. I mean, it was kind of like some of the games are cool, but like when you do these little tournaments like that, it's like I don't know. The NBA players just need to care more. Oh, stop! Like that's how I look at it. Because like in my mind, like like the players whine about like we are trying and this, that, the other. It's like, oh, let me play the world's smallest violin for the guy who's making $80 million a year because NBA contracts are stupid now. How come contracts keep going up, but you keep hearing viewership is going down? What makes you think? But it's just like stop it. Oh, stop.
Come on. Right.
You what? You have to speed walk up and down the court, Luka. Really? Poor little Luka Doncic can't go home to Slovenia for 2 days. Oh, stop it. He didn't even play. He played 2 minutes across 3 games. Nikola Jokic, same thing. Barely even played. And when he was out there, you could say, you want to talk about some guys might be being a hand in half the bag. I mean, like literally, like you had guys in that little NBA 1-day tournament thing, like outright just completely not care.
Mm.
Like there are people in the Celebrity All-Star game who probably would have been better. I'm not kidding. The guy who won the MVP
right.
for the Celebrity All-Star game, nasty. And Taco Fall, hey, put Taco Fall in there. I don't know. It's a thought.
Wow, Taco Fall. That's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
He was getting the Celebrity All-Star game.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Against noted non-NBA players, of course.
Muse would go off right now. Like he would be happy when you mentioned Taco Fall.
How could you not be?
But all right, I guess that covers it. So I guess definitely to everybody that has been through this history-making snowstorm, I hope everybody is safe, careful shoveling, careful driving. Obviously staying off the roads when told to. Hopefully everybody drives safely, and hopefully hot weather comes sooner rather than later. And yeah, I guess that's it. Obviously shout out to the USA hockey team, get taking home gold. Spring training coming, and yeah. But Dennis, anything else before I wrap up?
Good night. Be safe.
Good night and be safe. Thanks to everybody tuning in to Sports Shack. My name is Brandon Gerard Natali, along with Dennis Tui. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.